Now, I believe you can all hear me. Now, today there's no fundamental event at all. No fundamental event is expected in the market today. So we may have more of technical movement, but at the same time, it may come with some range or some irregular movement. So we need to still trade with a lot of caution in the market today. Good morning, Madam Onaji. We need to trade with a lot of caution. So I'll switch over to the charts. Now this is going to be a very short analysis session this morning because the market is extremely very quiet. So we don't really have much setup. I was only able to find just one. So I'm trying to switch over to the chart. All right. And the one I found is still related to the AUD. For those who joined the afternoon analysis yesterday, let me just quickly give a recap. I gave the analysis of Euro AUD, and I was bullish on the Euro AUD in the analysis. I posted an update in the groups, but peradventure you missed it. Let me just quickly give the update right here. From the analysis yesterday, I said I was bullish on the Euro AUD on the 15-minute time frame because of a support zone somewhere around here and an inverse head and shoulder. Yeah, I said it wasn't looking too sharp, but nonetheless, that's what I saw. And I said price was going to target the resistance, the nearest resistance, which is, I think, somewhere around here. And you can see that price even exceeded that level yesterday. I gave about two analysis for intraday AUD, sorry, Euro AUD and gold. But this is the one that went exactly as analyzed. Yeah, hitting about 34 pips. Though it even went beyond that. It actually went way beyond that to as much as 154. But we have to keep we have to keep it to what we actually analyzed, which is just about 30 pips intraday movement, and it happened yesterday afternoon. Now today it's still it's still AUD we're going to look at, and like I said, scan through the market, the only setup available this morning is just one, and that is the AUD JPY. The market is extremely quiet, so I will only do this analysis, and we might just have to end the analysis session there. All right, so this is the AUD JPY. I'll start it from the from the daily time frame, pardon me, or even from the weekly. Now, on the weekly time frame, we can see that price is trading around a resistance level on the weekly, and taking it down to the daily, we see that resistance level is still very much, you know, active. We still have that resistance. This is still the same resistance. At least here, we have price touching the resistance level, and yesterday candle closed as a rejection candle on that resistance level. Let me make it bigger so you can see. We have a very perfect looking rejection candle here trying to form a shooting star. Technically with that rejection candle on the resistance, we're expecting a downward movement. But then another reason why we're looking for a downward movement on the AED JPY is because of the trend line we can see also on the daily time frame, in which case price was seen forming a series of higher highs. So we have higher high, higher high, higher high, and also right here higher high. So this region here is now a point of confluence where the resistance the trend line, the RRI, and the rejection candle all meet. So technically, we're expecting a downward movement, on the AUDJPY. So we can switch over to a lower time frame like 4 hour, then finally go to one. But I'm not seeing anything much on 4 hour, but then for 1 hour is a lot clearer. All right, so this is a 1 hour version, and what I can see on 1 hour is a formation of a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, which I strongly believe will trigger a downward movement on the AUDJPY. You can draw our trend line there to have a rising wedge. So from all angles, we hold a bearish outlook on the AUDJPY. This region here becomes the neckline. So in the course of today, we'll be waiting for price to break out below this neckline region to trigger a sell on the AUDJPY. And profit potential of this can be in the range of, okay, you can even see Fibonacci 30.2 is close to the proposed entry point. So movement of Fibonacci 50 can be as much as, let's say, roughly like 35 pips. Fibonacci 0.8 as much as about 70 pips, and Fibonacci 78.6 as much as 120 pips. So at least from around 35 to 120 pips is possible on this instrument. So watch out for this instrument very, very closely in the course of today. We are bearish on the AUDJPY. On 1 hour is an intraday setup. It's expected to trigger in the course of today. All right, that's the only analysis I have for us this morning. Like I said, the market is extremely very, very quiet. Extremely very, very quiet. I can see somebody posting GBP USD. Let me just check it for the sake of uh just doing that. But like I said it earlier, that I don't intend to even look through any other asset. But let me just check. Okay, for GBP USD price, we have this is the daily time frame. We have a resistance, sorry, support rather. We have support turned resistance. Support, support turned resistance. So technically, we may be experiencing a downward movement in this instrument. Now, don't also forget that today is Friday. From the afternoon, it's possible we may have some, unstable movements in the market. So trade with a lot of caution. Trade with a lot of caution. All right, so on the daily, we have support on resistance. On the 1 hour, we have a rising wedge. We'll be expecting price to break out downwards on the GBP USD. So we have a bearish one there on the GBP USD. So the person that asked, let me confirm, that's Mr. Ekpe Ambassador. Watch out for possibly a bearish movement on GBP USD. You're welcome, sir. Amos is asking to check gold, Chris gold. Now, my issue with gold is this. Gold is not, I'm not getting the right vibe around gold, and I'm trying to be very cautious. Now, gold, yesterday, it's I expected it to hit that resistance up there on the weekly time frame, but it didn't. It didn't hit that resistance. But then the daily candle closed as a rejection candle. Now we just turn in between. Possibly price may go up before reversal or reversing outrightly. from my view yesterday, I expected price to hit this resistance, then drop from there. But then it did not. So that's as I say for an instrument like this, I'm just extremely very, very cautious. So possibly today, I'm not having a direct analysis. Please take note. Maybe it may go up before it comes, which is what I believe is in the best interest of gold. So that's just going to be my view. Yeah, maybe it may break out outrightly on its own, but to be honest, I'm not going to just get involved in that if it breaks out on its own. I would rather want it to go up and hit that resistance before dropping. So that's the main analysis I'm holding on to. If it decides to do otherwise, all well and good. But all I'm looking out for, because I respect the principles of trading. No risky trading, no assumptions. We expect it properly to hit the resistance, then drop. So let's watch out if that will happen in the course of today. Okay, I think those are just the two requests. If you have anything to ask, just do it now because I'm rounding up. I said it earlier, it's a very short analysis session because the market is very, very quiet. Euro USD. All right, so this is Euro USD on the daily time frame, and price hits a resistance level on the daily. So just like what we saw on the GBP USD, we'll be expecting the downward movement on the Euro USD likewise. We have price hitting resistance on the daily, and this is the 1 hour. But then I think let me go down to 15 minutes and check something. Now there are two sides to this. If you are a pure day trader, you need to wait for price to clearly break out below the trend line before you trigger a sell on the Euro USD. RSI must be below zero. Sorry, RSI must be below 50, pardon me. But on the other hand, also, this looks like it's also trying to form like a head and shoulder for the reversal right here. It's trying to form the head and shoulder. So if it's possible, maybe on the let's say 30 minutes. Okay, I think 30 minutes is clearer for this. So if price breaks out below this trend line, we may also just take an early entry to the lower trend line with RSI clearly below 50 on 30 minutes. Yeah, and that's very possible. So if a new candle breaks out, you may take a sell and target some, yeah, they can go as far as 30 pips, or I would advise just some 15, 20 pips movement. And that's actually possible this morning. It's very, very possible this morning. So we are bearish on the Euro USD, but with two trade entries. One, if you want to do an early scalp of 15 to 20 pips, wait for a new candle to, which can happen in the next 30 minutes or 1 hour. Wait for a new candle to break out below the trend line to trigger and take some 15 to 20 pips out. And if you want if peradventure maybe you missed that and you want to enter earlier, I mean later, make sure a new candle breaks out below the lower trend line, and that can make you ride the trend downwards better. So we are bearish on the Euro USD with two entries on 30 minutes and possibly 1 hour, both bearish. Okay, I think that will be all from my end this morning. Like I said, don't forget today is Friday. There's no fundamental event at all, so market may likely go purely technical. But then because it's Friday also, in the afternoon, instability often happens. And with the fact that there's no fundamental, we may see some choppy movement here and there. So trade with a lot of caution. Trade with a lot of caution. You're welcome, sir. USDJPY is in a range at the moment. That's for John Oluseyi. All right, so I've come to the end of the analysis this morning. Do trade safe and enjoy the rest of the day and even the weekend because today is Friday. Take care and have a nice weekend ahead. You're welcome, Madam Munaji. Bye
Have
bye.
a great weekend, sir. Thank you very much. We appreciate.
You're welcome, man.